Good morning, it's Conrad Vargas, the Old Desert Naturalist again. Today we're going to talk geology on how our coastal ranges and our intermountain ranges and also the Rocky Mountains were formed. A lot of people think that the earthquakes have caused our mountains to grow. Well, in a sense that is true, but really the big culprit was tectonic plates. The Pacific plates, which ride under the continental plates, are pushing upward, creating our ridges and mountains as we know them today. The Pacific plates ride under the continental plates, creating pressures that cause our little ridges on the coastline to form. Basically, the soil on the California coast is sandy loam. So these ridges are not going to be too high. They're going to be about 2,000 feet at most. Driving along the coast of California, you get up toward Monterey, you can see the uplift there in solid granite. Beautiful cliffs while you're driving on Highway 1. Going up into central California, you'll find that the ridges will be a little higher because it's not sandy loam, but more granite. We'll find the coastal ridge all the way into Washington. Now we have the coastal ridge, the next pushing of the plates by the Pacific plate have created the San Jacinto Mountains and the ridge into the Sierras. On the coastal ridge, we'll have small little volcanoes that will pop up all the way along here. The best one is at Morro Bay, Morro Rock, you can see it. It was a small little volcano. None of them were really large volcanoes on the coastal ridge, but they're all along there. We have many volcanoes that erupted along the upper higher ridge here, the Sierras included. The Sierra range there, all of the beautiful domes and the parks up there were volcanic action lifting the granite up. The best volcanic action we have now would be like Mount St. Helens. Mount Hood and Mount Rainier are still semi-active. Of course, Mount St. Helens just blew its top not too long ago. And that's caused by the heat generated down here as the Pacific plate slides underneath, and it's causing volcanic material to come up and explode. A lot of people don't realize that the Pacific plates pushing under the continental plates not only caused this coastal ridge, the Sierras as we'll call them, clear up into Washington and Oregon. The ridge going up through California, which is the Sierras, becomes the Cascades as it goes into Oregon and Washington. But the Rocky Mountains were also formed by these pressures from the Pacific plate under the continental plate. You must remember that the plates pushing under here have caused an enormous amount of deflection from the earth rising into mountains. The soil in here, of course, is just not being moved, but there was friction in here causing the Rocky Mountains by the Pacific plate pushing underneath. It's hard for people to understand that at one time the whole coastline all the way to Oregon and Washington were completely flat. But the Pacific plate pushing underneath has caused a lot of deflection and lifting. This is Conrad Vargas, the Old Desert Naturalist. I'm signing off from this show. Stay tuned for the next show. And folks, if you're hiking, please, if you drop it, pick it up. I'm getting too old to be picking up after some people that drop things.
So where'd you go to art school?
Art school? Don't pick on me. I didn't go to art school. I had a good art teacher when I was in high school, but
He would be laughing at me right now if he saw this.
Well, I am too.
Oh, don't pick on me.